Manchester United are edging closer each day for a move for Carlos Baleba. It's reported today that personal terms are agreed. It was reported yesterday that Carlos Baleba and his agent was willing to accept a lower commission fee, and Carlos Baleba has asked Brighton if he can leave or if they can accept a deal, if they can negotiate a deal, as he wants to leave and join Manchester United. It looks like the reports are getting stronger and stronger each and every day, and this move could most likely start to get to around 60%, 70% chance of happening. And today I'm going to discuss how Carlos Baleba and why Carlos Baleba is an absolute game changer, groundbreaking signing for Manchester United. Think of all the big words you want in a dictionary. Think of all the big words, all the big English words. Do you get what I'm saying? All the 1800 Victoria time words. Do you get what I'm saying? Let's get straight into it. Starting off, what is his assets, his qualities? Well, he's a very good, well-rounded midfielder. Right? He's got a good ball carrier on him. Pause. What does that mean? He's good at ball carrying, shall I say. He's press resistant. He can play through the lines. He plays in a possession-based team in Brighton, so he knows how to play with a lot of the ball, which Man United are going to have more of the ball in more games than not. There'll be 10, maybe 12 games a season where we don't have, maybe about 12, 13 games a season where we don't have the majority of the ball, but the rest of them in the Premier League, we will have the majority of the ball. And you know what I'm saying, Man United struggled last season in the games where we didn't have the majority of the ball. When we did have the majority of the ball, we actually done quite well. But when we did have the majority of the ball, was the games where we quite struggled a lot, and why we ended up finishing 15th. So that's one aspect of the game why he will massively improve us. But also the physicality element. He's very, 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 as I say, well-rounded. Not only is he good on the ball, but physically he's very good. He's got, tackling, etc., etc. I'm sure his tackling numbers. I don't look at the stats. I don't go look at the underlying metrics and all that stuff. I'm just looking at what I see. He's very good at tackling. There's a reason why people in my chat are calling him the baby N'Golo Kante. Do you get what I'm saying? Because he covers the ground. What they used to say about Kante? 70% of the world's covered by water. The other 30% was covered by N'Golo Kante. I can imagine we're going to hear similar things about this guy with his legs. And we need legs in that midfield. Another reason as to why he's going to be an absolute game changer. Our current midfielders. Eriksen's just left, so we won't count him. Manuel Ugarte, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, and Kobbie, Mainoo. Each and every single one of them have got their own assets that some people like to say about. I don't particularly rate Ugarte. I'm not the biggest fan of Ugarte. But they've all got assets that people will bring forward and say, this guy's good at that, he's good at that, we can play him in this game, etc., etc. But none of them really complement each other. Bruno Fernandes doesn't complement Kobbie Mainoo. Manuel Ugarte does not complement Kobbie Mainoo. Casemiro, nowadays, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, could have complemented Kobbie Mainoo, but nowadays, with his legs gone, he's not even that, he's probably 2 or 3 yards slower, he's a bit older. He doesn't complement Kobbie Mainoo. Someone like Carlos Baleba, next to Kobbie Mainoo, could be exactly what Kobbie Mainoo needs. The best version of Kobbie Mainoo we've seen, really, when he broke through, but also when he was playing with the likes of Amrabat. That's the best version you'll see of Kobbie Mainoo, when he was playing with Amrabat or McTominay or something across those lines. And McTominay and Amrabat weren't exactly good. They're nowhere near as good as Carlos Baleba. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the best version. And also, at the Euros just gone. Kobbie Mainoo was England's best midfielder in the knockout stages. Why? Because he had someone like Declan Rice next to him, who's an absolute complementary to his style of football. What does Kobbie Mainoo lack? What does he lack? He lacks the P&P side. He's not quick. He's not got much legs. He's not that powerful. He can't get across. Well, tackling-wise, he's not actually a bad tackler. You see him put some good, decent tackles in. He needs someone next to him that can cover the ground for him, that's quick. Do you get what I'm saying? You would ideally think Manuel Ugarte would be that guy. And, yeah, as I say, Manuel Ugarte is quite quick, and he is quite aggressive. He is good tackling. He's not as good as people make out he is. I actually think he's just a decent tackler. But you see a lot of the times he does get spun, he does get sent, he does get bodied, etc. But the thing is with Ugarte, it doesn't have the other side of the game, which, as I just spoke about, Carlos Baleba having the qualities of being actual good on the ball, being able to receive it, press it, being able to drop a shoulder and pass, carry it, etc. Ugarte takes 2 or 3 seconds. When Ugarte gets the ball, he's a press trigger. It's like when you put a biscuit in hot tea, it just falls apart. That's literally what Ugarte is when he's on the ball at times and you press him. You know what I mean? Even against, was it the Everton game? Might have been the Everton game, yeah. The Everton game, when he's receiving the ball off the back three now. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to turn. He takes an extra 2 or 3 seconds to pass the ball. Yes, don't get me wrong, Ugarte at tackling, he can cover ground as well, but Mainoo also needs, every midfielder likes to have another midfielder next to him that they can pop the ball off each other. Look at Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz. Look at just the best example, Iniesta, Xavi. They all like to pop the ball with each other. They all like to play 1-2s. You can't play possession-based football with one midfielder that plays possession-based football. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's one problem that Kobbie Mainoo's struggling right now in this current system. I personally believe Kobbie Mainoo can play this system. I actually think in a 2 in the pivot, he's actually a very good midfielder in a 2 in the pivot. I actually think maybe you could say this formation specifically because there's not a midfielder in front of him. Usually you have the attacking midfielder and you have the pivot in the 4-2-3-1. But this one you just got the pivot and then there's 2 attacking midfielders, but they're further up than just the normal one in the 4-2-3-1. I do understand that, but I actually think in the pivot you could play Mainoo as long as you have a player like a Carlos Baleba next to him. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like we'll find that out I think when we get this guy. I feel like people have jumped the gun with Mainoo. Oh, we can't fit this system, he can't play in it. I personally think he can. And for the time being next season, if we sign Carlos Baleba, I think our starting 2 midfielders for the majority of the games will be Bruno Fernandes and Carlos Baleba. They'll play majority of the games, let's be honest here. They will play the majority of the games. Bruno Fernandes barely misses a game through injury and he plays every week. You get what I'm saying? He's always available, as I say. Unless for a game or 2 or whatever, Amorim has to decide an idea to put him in the 10, which it will happen a few times. It will be a few times this season where Amorim plays Bruno in the 10. I have no doubt about that. I think we're going to see Carlos Baleba with Bruno Fernandes a lot this season. So and what complement, should I say, Bruno Fernandes is a Baleba. Now, a lot of people like to say, you can't control games with Bruno Fernandes. You can't dominate games with Bruno Fernandes. And I get that type of thing. I do understand it because he gives the ball away stupid. It's not how many times for me all the time. It's sometimes he'll just try and play a 40-yard ball and it's just like it's not on. Do you get what I'm saying? That type of thing is what I feel like it's the timing of when you lose the ball rather than just the sheer number. Although the sheer number is also quite high on average a game. I think I believe he lost the ball the most times in the league last season. However, someone like a Carlos Baleba is a good complement for someone like Bruno. Someone who's going to keep consistently winning that ball back for you. For them Bruno to push on. As well as the fact that one thing that Bruno Fernandes is very much lacking in his game, he's never been good at it. And Man United have got no midfielders good at it. Same with Casemiro. No midfielders good at it. Yeah, is a ball carrier. Bruno Fernandes has never been a ball carrier. The best version of Bruno Fernandes, in my opinion, that we saw, you could argue his first couple of seasons when he had Pogba in the midfield, when he had Fred and McTominay in the midfield. And I'd actually argue that Baleba is, in terms of defensively, he's like Fred. He's way better on the ball, but defensively, he's like Fred. Fred was very much getting around the pitch, small man. Baleba's bigger, but he gets there, gets tackling, gets stuck with him and stuff like that. And yeah, I feel like Baleba's a bit similar to him. But the other best version of Bruno Fernandes, in my personal opinion, is Christian Eriksen and Casemiro. And I feel like, again, that type of dog in midfield, Casemiro was very much pivotal in Bruno's season that year. Because the dog in midfield where he was just winning the ball in scenarios you wouldn't expect him to win the ball. You think go look at Caicedo for Chelsea. Sometimes you think the player's done him and he just out of nowhere with his Spider-Man legs just gets the ball. That type of midfielder is perfect for Bruno Fernandes. And especially if he likes to play the high intensity transition ball, that's really where you see Bruno Fernandes thrive. You get what I'm saying? If Baleba's winning the ball quickly and you're just playing switch over like an NBA game, because Baleba is just winning the ball high at the pitch and such like that, and the opposition team are just not expecting it. Do you get what I'm saying? Bruno Fernandes, that final ball into space, that shot, etc., he's got that unlock. You know he's going to deliver, and I feel like a Baleba would be complimentary for him. I actually do stand on the fact that I believe Bruno Fernandes will not be a Manchester United player after this season. I think he leaves next summer. I think after the World Cup, you'll see him leave. I think he'll potentially maybe go to another European club or go to Saudi. I think, he'll be 31, 32, whatever. Go get that bag. And we thank him for what? It'll be 6 years then of 6 years of service. Do you get what I'm saying? Over 100 goals. But personally, I feel like that's why Carlos Baleba will be a game changer. Obviously, I'm not the best at doing it. This is just off the cuff, by the way. None of this was notes. I probably could have done notes to try and improve the quality of the video. I don't know. I've just done it off the cuff. I don't know what you lot think. Anyways, do you think this still will happen? I personally do. I've got my reasons to why I think it will happen. And yeah, I feel like I don't think it will happen soon. I think it will happen quite late in the window, potentially just before the third game of the season. But yeah, I do think it's going to happen. And I'm excited, man. And I think it's going to be an absolute game changer. I feel like for Kobbie Mainoo as well, if you want to go, one problem we've got with this Amorim system is that people think if Amorim fails, which they do think he's going to fail, and you go back to a 4-2-3-1, what do you do? Well, I mean, a lot of our players are suited to 4-2-3-1, especially if we sign Baleba. He can play this system, but he can also play in the 4 at the back. Do you know why? Because he plays there for Brighton. He probably played there for Lille as well. I don't know about his nation because I don't watch Cameroon, I'm not going to lie. But we'll have to wait and see this AFCON. Let me know what you lot think in the comments. Hit the sub button, hit the like button. I'm out, people. Peace.